Hamas will hand over to Israel the bodies of 4 hostages on Thursday. A further 6 living hostages will be freed on Saturday, according to Israel. Let's get more from our correspondent in Jerusalem, Mark Lowen, who's there for us. Mark, how many hostages would that leave alive still in Gaza? It seems we're nearing the point where we need to talk about phase 2.
Yeah, we are close to the total number now finally being released, Christian, because there are 14 hostages who are still not back in Israel. So if there are 4 dead bodies that are handed over on Thursday, 6 living hostages on Saturday, and then a further 4 dead bodies, says Hamas, next week, that will be the final 14 of the first phase of this ceasefire deal. Now, this Thursday is going to be a very painful moment for Israel because Hamas has just said that among the 4 bodies that they are going to hand over to Israel, the first dead hostages that they are handing over since the ceasefire was signed, will be the Bibas family. Now, that includes if all of the Bibas family are among those 4 dead, that would include Shiri Bibas, who was seized on the 7th of October along with her husband Yarden, who was released earlier this month. You might remember he was one of those very emaciated men who was released by Hamas on the 1st of February, but also their 2 sons, Ariel, who was just 4 years old when he was kidnapped on the 7th of October, and Kfir, who was just 9 months old. They are the 2 youngest hostages who were taken on the 7th of October. And those Bibas boys have become really iconic symbols across Israel of the brutality of the Hamas attack on the 7th of October. They are on murals. They are very much seen as symbolic of the 7th of October attack. I was in Israel. I was on a hostage square actually for the first release of the hostages on the 19th of January, and there was actually a cake that was set up, a kind of mock, tragically ironic cake that was set up on Hostages Square to mark the 2nd birthday of Kfir Bibas, who would have been 2 on the day before the first release of the hostages. Now, Hamas says that the Bibas family were killed in an Israeli bombardment in Gaza. Israel has never confirmed that.
Just a quick line. Israel saying today that it will send a team to Qatar to begin the 2nd phase of the ceasefire negotiation, and Hamas in the last few minutes saying that they are prepared to engage.
Yeah, and it appeared last week that the whole ceasefire was hanging by a thread. There was then a release of hostages last week, and now it appears that it's been brought back on track. And that progression to the 2nd phase is very important because that would include talks on Israel's withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, which is bitterly contested by the right wing of Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet. I should just say, Christian, that in return for the releases that we were just talking about by Hamas, Israel says it is going to free all women prisoners and those under the age of 19 who were arrested since the 8th of October 2023, the day after the Hamas attacks. And they've also begun to allow some heavy equipment, rubble-moving equipment into Gaza from across the border in Egypt. That appears to be the quid pro quo. And now, as you say, the fact that Israel is sending a negotiating team finally, belatedly, to Cairo appears to suggest that the ceasefire talks, at least, are back on track. Whether we will get to phase 2, that is a different matter.
Yeah, fragile, but some movement at least. Mark, thank you very much for that.